Max, obviously it's a tough lineup to navigate. What were you able to do effectively through the 5 innings today?
Thought I was able to, avoid the big hit, and I was able to sequence well enough, and I had all my off-speed pitches going. I thought every off-speed pitch really had good shape, and was able to pitch well with that. And I felt like I had cases of just misses tonight, where I was just missing with that fastball, and kind of got me in some bad counts, and it allowed them to grind me apart. That's why my pitch count got high. I wasn't able to control the count well with them, but they're a good team. You make mistakes, they'll burn you. So knowing that. That's kind of what happened why the pitch count got high. But working with Nito there, and just found a way to continue to get out of innings and avoid a big inning.
Talk about the shape of the secondary pitches. Buck mentioned specifically the changeup. Did that pitch feel particularly good today?
Yeah, changeup felt good, but all of them felt good. Was able to the curveball and slider, like they had shape and break, and was able to do what I wanted to do with them. And like I said, able to attack the zone when I needed to and avoid the beginning.
How do you feel you're coming along with what you talked about after the game in Milwaukee with putting guys away at 2 strikes?
Yeah, I thought it took a step in the right direction. I felt I had to self-diagnose that right. I'm not broken. I wasn't broken after the Milwaukee start. I didn't have to reinvent the wheel. Just had to fine-tune some things. That's baseball. Sometimes the result. If you follow the results, you can make yourself go crazy at times. You got to be able to reflect on what's actually happening and know where you're getting beat. And I thought I identified the right things to be able to do, and thought I made better pitches because of that.
Max, were you happy with this start?
I always want to say I want to go deeper. It's tough to say you only want to pitch 5 innings. But they did a good job of grinding with me. But the team got to win. So anytime the team wins, I'm happy.
When Nito came out in the first inning, were you trying to run the pitch clock down? Is that what you were trying to do, or were you crossing?
No, we weren't on the same pitch. We were cycling through pitches, and it was coming off, and I stepped off. With a runner on base, I thought that just resets the clock. He thought no matter what it just was confusion, and he came out there. I didn't think we needed to burn a mound visit. I just needed to call the right pitch. But that's just life in the big leagues in 2023.
When you have a case of the just misses, is that something you have to adjust at all in the next 5 days, or is that something that kind of takes care of itself?
Yeah, you don't put too you don't try to overcorrect for that. Yeah, there was times I was spraying a fastball a little bit, but there's also times where I'm hitting the spot. I'm just missing by a couple inches, and so you'd rather miss a couple inches of where you're trying to intend to hit the target than let it leak back over the middle. So, if you overcorrect here, you can run into some mistakes. So, you're aware of it and see how it moves forward.
Well, it sounds like you feel like you're close to where you want to be. Is that a fair assessment?
I just know what I'm capable of. I know what I'm capable of when I pitch and locate, and getting off into 2023, I think I can continue to get better and keep grinding and find midseason form. It's a challenge for everybody. Everybody's trying to find that midseason form right now. When you're dealing with all the different elements and things that you're dealing with, you're just trying to find midseason form. So it's whoever can do that fast enough.
When you are trying to find things, how much do you enjoy? Obviously, one of the better lineups in the league over there, facing a team like that that's, going to give you a good litmus test of where you're at.
Yeah, they're a great ball club. I'm not going to take anything away from them. I respect everybody in their lineup, and they make you bring your A game. So when you go out there, you got to bring your A game, otherwise you lose.
I think you struck out. Most of your strikeouts were with your fastball. Was that just the sequencing? What do you think that was kind of a product of?
Sequencing. You can never put a finger on what pitch is going to be, but you work the sequence and then try to think along with them, and try to execute around that.
Max, I think they had 25 foul balls against you. Is that more challenging physically or mentally when they're fouling off pitch after pitch like that for 5 innings?
A little bit of both. Pitch count's higher. But that's when you got to dig down deep. That's where all your preparation comes in. All the training to be in that situation. When your pitch counts 60 plus through 3, you still got to finish this outing. You got to finish strong. You can't feel sorry for yourself or anything like this. You got to attack and almost dig down deeper. So, been in that situation many times. Would have liked to find a way to be able to get through 6, but unfortunately, they grind me apart. They kept fouling me off. They did a great job of doing that, and that's what makes them a good team.
How's the pitch clock feeling to you, time-wise? Like 15, aside from the sort of miscommunication you have with Nito in the first, but just 15 seconds, 20 seconds. How's that feeling?
No, it's fast. The where I actually lose track of the clock the most is actually the start of an AB. When there was a runner on base, like you just kind of your natural rhythm of the game, says you have more time. But that clock, man, that thing, the 0-0s to start the at bat. That's where I feel like I struggle the most with the clock.